Hello everyone, welcome back to this session of English. In this session, we are going to continue with our chapter Connectors. Now this is part number 12. So till now we have already done 11 parts on connectors. So let us see what we are going to discuss in this part of connector. So in this lecture, we will cover the following topics. And what are the following topics that we are going to discuss? First of all, we'll discuss hence, then as a result, and then consequently. As in our earlier session, we started discussing result or effect denoting characters. So there we started with the effect denoting conjunctions or the result denoting conjunctions. So in this session, these three are actually result denoting, or you can say effect denoting conjunctions. Okay, so we are going to discuss these three in this session. Okay, so these three are result denoting conjunctions. So first we'll discuss hence connector. Meaning of hence. Hence is result denoting conjunction used in English to indicate a logical consequence or conclusion derived from the previous statement or set of statements. It means whatever has been said earlier, it is just the conclusion or something which can be inferred or can be drawn as the conclusion. That conclusion will be shown by the word hence. Okay, so when hence is used in a sentence, it connects the reasoning or cause with its subsequent effect or conclusion. It implies a direct relation between what has been stated and what follows. Cause and effect. Now we'll discuss the use of hence. So first use is cause and effect. Indicating a cause means reason. Okay, and the effect, that is the result. Okay, this is the result. Relationship between two clauses. Example, the rain is heavy, hence we need umbrellas. So why do we need umbrellas? Because the rain is heavy. Inference or conclusion. Drawing an inference or conclusion based on preceding information. Example, poor stock market performance, hence caution among investors. Time sequence. Showing that something will happen or should happen in the future as a result of prior information. For example, project nearing completion, hence final report due next week. Now logical deduction, making a logical deduction or drawing a logical conclusion. So whenever we want to make a logical deduction, it means some inference out of some situation, or when we want to draw a logical conclusion, we need to use this connector, that is hence. Okay, so the example can be phone left at home, hence unable to answer your call. As my phone was left at home, so this is not the entire statement that has been given. We are just writing that phone left at home. Okay, this is the phrase only, and hence unable to answer your call. So we are not writing the exact grammatical structure of the sentence. We are just writing two phrases and joining these two phrases with the help of hence, that draws the conclusion. Okay. Mathematical and scientific usage. Now this is very, very important. Hence plays a vital role over here. In case of mathematics or scientific usage, or in physics, when we do numericals, you must have done the numericals in physics and maths. So there we need to prove something. Okay, so to just to prove the two equations, or to equate the two equations, to balance the two equations, what we do, we write some conclusions or something that can be drawn out of the information given to us in the equation, and that will balance both the sides of the question, and that will in the end, both the statements will be proved same. So there we write hence to show that particular proof. Okay, so employing hence in mathematical and scientific context for logical steps. Okay, equation simplifies to a quadratic form. Hence apply quadratic formula. So hence is used to show that what should be the next step, or what is the result, or what can be done to solve this entire statement. Now let us move to the next one. That is replacement for therefore or thus. Now, this word can substitute or can be used in place of therefore or thus. It means it can replace these two words from the sentence. Using hence interchangeably with therefore or thus for logical consequence. Market demand increased, hence expected rise in profits. It means therefore is equal to hence is equal to thus. It means all these three words can be substituted in place of one another or can be substituted with one another. Now we'll discuss the structure of hence. The general structure when using hence is as follows. First of all, we'll write the first clause, then hence, then the second clause. Now, why I'm writing clause over here? Because here the entire sentence is not written. Because here only phrases are written. It means we write some words only. We need not write the entire structure, that is subject plus verb plus object. We need to write only the phrase part, that this happened, hence this happened. Okay, so we need not write the entire sentence. Okay, so first clause, this is introductory part of the sentence that sets up the context or provides some information. Hence is placed immediately after the first clause, serving as the conjunction that indicates the result or consequence. Second clause, this is the part of the sentence that follows hence and presents the outcome or consequence of the first clause. Okay. Rules associated with hence placement. Hence should come immediately after the first clause and before the second clause. Now, hence can be placed in the middle of the sentence only. It cannot begin the sentence, serving as a clear link between them. Second one is comma usage. Use a comma both before and after hence to set it off and highlight its role as a transitional word. Now, clarity and logic. Ensure that hence establishes a clear cause and effect relationship between the two clauses. Now, if there are two clauses, it should be shown, this hence should show the exact relationship between effect and cause. It means it should show that which is the effect and which is the cause of the sentence, or which is showing the cause or the effect of the sentence, with the second clause generally resulting from the first. It means whatever we write in the second clause, that should be the result of what has been stated in the previous statement. Okay, in between we should write hence. So this should be the result part. It means after hence we can only write the result part, and before that we should mention the reason. Avoid redundancy. Use hence when it adds clarity, but avoid redundancy when the cause and effect relationship is already evident. Okay, it means we should not be we should avoid the redundancy. It means it should not be written unnecessarily. Okay, or the duplicacy of it. Complex sentences. In complex sentences, hence should still connect the immediate consequence to its cause. Okay, still connect the immediate consequence. It means whatever we get out of this or because of this particular reason, immediately after which we can have. Variation. Occasionally use synonyms like therefore, thus, or consequently to vary your writing. Okay, to vary your writing means to vary your writing pattern. It means you can use these words occasionally, or sometimes you can substitute them with therefore or thus to make your writing effective, and that you are not writing the same word again and again. Okay, now we'll discuss some examples of hence. First of all, the cause and effect. She missed her flight, hence she won't be able to attend the conference. Now, she missed her flight. This is the reason. And what is the result of it? She won't be able to attend the conference. And due to this, she will not be able to attend the conference. The heavy rainfall caused flooding in the area, hence the evacuation order was issued. Okay, so this is the consequently this happened. So here we are using the word hence. The patient's condition deteriorated overnight. It means it got diminished, or it got you can say more critical. Hence, the doctor decided to perform surgery. Inference or conclusion. The company's profits have been steadily increasing. Hence, it is a good time to invest. The survey results indicate a high level of customer satisfaction. Hence, we can expect repeat business. Time sequence. The deadline for the project submissions is tomorrow. Hence, we need to work late night. Okay, late tonight. The train departs in 15 minutes. Hence, we should hurry to the platform. So this is actually the information which is given about the train. Hence, it means the result of it that we should hurry to the platform. It means we should go to the platform as soon as possible. Logical deduction. The car's fuel gauge is on empty. Hence, it means when some logical deduction has been said, or you can say when some information is given, so that we can talk about the future or we can think about the future. Hence, we need to find a gas station soon. Okay. The store is closed today. Hence, we will have to do our shopping tomorrow. Okay. Formal writing. In formal writing, we use this term. The research findings support the hypothesis. Hence, we can draw meaningful conclusions. So, because of which we can do this thing. So, this is hence that shows the result of something. The legal precedent has been established. Hence, the court's decision is justified. Mathematical and scientific usage, very important use of hence. The experiment yielded statistically significant results. Hence, we can reject the null hypothesis. The initial data points to make a specific trend. Hence, further analysis is warranted. Okay, so this is how we can use hence in mathematical or scientific usage. Now, complex sentences. The company invested in research and development, hence improving its products, which lead to increased customer satisfaction. She completed her degree with top honors, hence securing a prestigious job offer. Now we'll discuss another connector, that is as a result. Okay, so hence it shows the as a result sequence. As a result is also same, but here we need to write as a result, not hence. The phrase as a result is used as a conjunction to indicate a cause and effect relationship between two clauses or sentences, but this shows as a result. Obviously, it shows the result. It is often employed to show that the second clause or sentence is a consequence. Okay, the consequence means result or outcome of the first. In other words, it signifies that something happened or will happen because of something else occurred previously. It means if something has happened in the second statement or in the second clause after the as a result phrase, we need to write the consequence which has occurred due to the reason which is mentioned in the previous statement or in the previous clause. Now we'll discuss the uses of as a result. First of all, we have cause and effect. As a result is commonly used to express a clear cause and effect relationship between two statements. He missed his train, and as a result, he arrived late to the meeting. The company reduced its prices, and as a result, sales increased significantly. Okay, the company reduced its prices, and the result of which was that sale increased significantly. Next one, inference or conclusion. It can be used to draw an inference or conclusion based on the preceding information. The market demand for eco-friendly products has risen, and as a result, companies are investing more in sustainable practices. The team worked tirelessly on the project, and as a result, they achieved outstanding results. The third one, for the time sequence, as a result can indicate that something will happen or should happen in this future as a consequence of what has occurred. Okay, so this shows the time sequence that something is going to happen in future on the basis of something which is going on or which has been occurred. They saved consistently over the years, and as a result, they were able to retire comfortably. Okay, so they saved consistently over the years. It means for many years they have been saving, and that is why they were able to retire comfortably. It means after retirement, their future is, you can say, comfortable. The company adopted new technology, and as a result, its productivity is expected to increase in future. Okay. Logical deduction. It can be used to make a logical deduction or draw a logical conclusion. The storm warnings were issued early, and as a result, people had time to prepare for the hurricane. So this is something very good, that the storm warnings were issued early or were issued earlier, so that the people, they got time to arrange or to manage for the future outcomes. The patient followed the prescribed treatment plan diligently, and as a result, her health improved. Okay. Alternative to therefore or thus. It can be used as an alternative to therefore or thus to denote a logical sequence, because the functioning of both of all these three are same, or you can say the function of all these three is same. The experiment produced consistent results, and as a result, we can conclude that hypothesis is valid. The budget was approved, and as a result, the project can move forward. Now, if the budget is approved, it is very logical that the project can move forward. So, as a result, shows that now they can enhance their project because they can move forward with their project. Okay, because the budget was approved. Now, what is the structure of as a result? Let us see. The general structure typically follows this pattern. First, we'll have the first clause or a statement. After that, as a result, then second clause or a statement. Now, first clause or a statement, what does it contain? This is the initial part of the sentence that sets up the cause or condition. Okay, so the first clause, this has or this covers the cause or the condition. Whereas after that we have as a result. This is the phrase as a result is used immediately after the first clause or statement, which is going to introduce the result. Okay, the second clause or statement, this is the part of the sentence that follows as a result, and it means it is used just after, it is placed just after the phrase as a result and presents the effect or consequence of the cause mentioned in the first clause. The rules associated with as a result, placement of as a result. As a result should be placed immediately after the first clause or statement, separating it from the second clause. It serves as a clear marker of the cause and effect relationship. Correct. What can be the correct sentence? He missed the bus. As a result, he was late for work. Okay. Now, what can be the incorrect statement? He missed the bus and was late for work as a result. Okay, so incorrect. What is incorrect? We cannot write this as a result in the end of the sentence. Okay, but we can write it in the middle of the sentence. Okay, also we cannot begin the sentence using as a result. Comma usage. It is customary to use a comma both before and after as a result phrase to set it off from the rest of the sentence. It means to separate it from the rest of the sentence or to highlight it. This comma usage helps to clearly identify as a result as a transitional phrase. It means it is a transitional phrase which is, you can say, making the transfer of the prior information to that of the result. Okay. Now the correct one is the project was delayed. As a result, we had to adjust our schedule. It means we are using comma before and after the phrase as a result. Whereas if I write the project was delayed, as a result, we had to adjust our schedule, it means I'm not using any comma in the sentence. That will make the sentence incorrect. However, we are not asked punctuation spotting errors or punctuation errors or punctuation questions in our competitive exam. So we can avoid it in case of competitive exams. Okay, but in writing, we should take care of these things. Now, clarity and logical connection. Ensure that the use of as a result establishes a clear and logical cause and effect relationship between the two clauses. The second clause should genuinely result from the first. Correct one, she invested in stocks. As a result, her wealth grew. Whereas what will be the incorrect sentence? She invested in stocks. As a result, it was a sunny day. Now I'm using a semicolon and after that a comma. That will incorrect. Okay. So there should be a clarity and logical connection between the two. Now, if I say she invested in stocks, it means she invested some money in stocks. Okay. As a result, her wealth grew. But in the second, if I write she invested in stocks, as a result, it was a sunny day. Now, here you see that it is about stocks. Her investment, obviously, her investment should make her earn the profits. But here I'm saying that it was a sunny day, which is not linked with, if this information is not linked with each other, that will not make any sense and that will make the sentence incorrect. So the logical words should be used, the logical statement should be used to mention both. Now avoid redundancy. use as a result when it adds clarity, but avoid redundancy when the cause and effect relationship is already evident. Okay. Example, the market demand for the product has increased. Okay. As a result, the company's profits are expected to rise. Now, the market demand for the product has increased. This is the one statement. And now this can be concluded that the company's profit are expected to rise, though it has not occurred yet. It is expected to occur. Okay. And it is very expected. It is very much expected to occur. Whereas, because something that is obviously shown or that is obviously implied, okay, that is already evident. Now, redundant, the market demand for the product has increased, and as a result, the company's profits are expected to rise. Now, for the product has increased, if I say, and as a result, the company's profits are expected to rise. So this is just generally redundant. Okay, so we should avoid redundancy when the cause and effect relationship is already evident. Okay. For example, if I say, what is the difference between these two statements? Let us see. The market demand for the product has increased. Now, this is has increased. It means this is proved that the market demand for the product has increased. But if I say the market demand for the product has increased, and as a result, I'm writing and as a result. It means I'm saying that both the conjunctions I have used together, that and as a result. It means this is this is the thing that we are really expecting. Whereas here, this just the expectation is there. But here, redundancy is given over here because we have used two conjunctions together. So this is wrong. So we should not use two conjunctions together. Now, use in a complex sentences. As a result can be used in complex sentences while with multiple clauses, but it should still connect the immediate consequence to its cause. Okay. Correct complex. She completed her degree with top honors. As a result, she secured a prestigious job offer. Examples of as a result. First of all, cause and effect. She missed her flight, and as a result, she could not attend the important business meeting. Okay. The company implemented cost-cutting measures. As a result, it saw an increase in profitability. Inference or conclusion. The team worked tirelessly on the project. As a result, they exceeded their quarterly targets. He exercised regularly and maintained a balanced diet. As a result, he achieved his fitness goals. Time sequence. The factory upgraded its machinery, and as a result, production efficiency improved. The software had several bugs that needed fixing. As a result, the release was delayed. Okay, so this is time sequence. It means something which can be shown or which can be shown as the consequences in future or in time duration. Logical deduction. The storm warnings were issued early. As a result, residents were able to evacuate safely. The temperature dropped significantly overnight, and as a result, the roads became icy and dangerous. Formal writing. The research findings supported the theory, and as a result, a new scientific paradigm was established. The new government policies led to economic stability, and as a result, investor confidence increased. Okay, we can say investors' confidence increased. Here we should not write and, we can write as a result, investors' confidence increased. Alternative to therefore or thus, the project was completed ahead of schedule, and as a result, the client was highly satisfied. The company invested in employee training. As a result, productivity levels soared. Now we'll discuss another connector, that is consequently. Now, consequently, it appears to be made of the word consequent. Now, what is consequent? Consequent means result. Okay. And if consequent means result, it means consequently means that finally, okay, or as the result of. Now, eventually, consequently, these are same words. Meaning of consequently. Consequently is a conjunction used to indicate a cause or effect relationship between two clauses or sentences that shows the result or that shows the effect. It is employed to show that the second clause or sentence is the direct result or consequence of the information presented in the first clause or sentence. So second will show, or the clause which is after which is placed after consequently shows the result of the previous statement or the information which is given in the previous statement. In other words, consequently signifies that something happened or will happen as a direct outcome of something else that occurred or was started earlier. First of all, we'll discuss uses of consequently, cause and effect. The heavy rainfall caused flooding in the area. Consequently, many residents had to evacuate. Now, heavy rainfall caused flooding in the area. This is the one part. Okay, this is the situation that has been created. Consequently, and because of which, what happened? That many residents they had to evacuate. It means they had to prevent themselves from escaping. Okay, so this is the result or this is the outcome of this scenario or of this pattern. Okay, this is the reason why these residents had to evacuate. She missed several days of work due to illness. Consequently, her workload increased. Okay, so she missed several days of work due to illness. It means because she was ill, she could not work for several days, and due to which or the result of which that she her workload has increased. Inference or conclusion: the team put in extra hours to meet the deadline. Consequently, they successfully completed the project. So, how did they complete the project successfully? Because they put in extra hours to meet the deadline. The company invested in research and development. Consequently, it gained a competitive edge in the market. Okay, so it reached the competitive edge in the market. So this is how this shows the reason and the effect of it. Okay. Time sequence. The software had multiple bugs. Consequently, the release date was postponed. Okay. So the release date, why was it postponed? Just because the software had multiple bugs. So consequently means that as a result of which they implemented new security measures. Consequently, the number of cyber attacks decreased. Logical deduction. He didn't attend the training sessions. Consequently, he lacked the necessary skills for the job. The budget was cut significantly. Consequently, some projects had to be cancelled. So the budget was cut significantly. This is the reason for what? For the result that some projects had to be cancelled. So this is the effect that occurred just because of the budget cut. Okay, or the cut in the budget. Alternative to therefore or thus. Now, this word consequently can be an alternative to therefore, thus, as a result, hence. So all these words can be substituted with one another. The weather conditions were unfavorable. Consequently, the outdoor event was cancelled. The interest rates increased. Consequently, borrowing became more expensive. Now, we can also use therefore and thus in this place of consequently. I can write the sentence like the weather conditions were unfavorable, therefore the outdoor event was cancelled, or thus the outdoor event was cancelled, hence the outdoor event was cancelled. As a result, the outdoor event was cancelled. So all these phrases can be used interchangeably. The company faced, now these are using complex sentences. The company faced a financial crisis due to mismanagement. Consequently, the board of directors decided to replace the CEO. The market demand for electric vehicles has surged. Consequently, many automakers are shifting their production focus. Now we'll discuss the structure of consequently. The general structure when using consequently is as follows. First of all, we'll write the first clause, then consequently, and then the second clause. Okay. Now, what is the first clause? This is initial part of the sentence that provides the cause or condition. Consequently is placed immediately after the first clause, serving as the conjunction that signifies the result or consequence. Now, the second clause, this is the part of the sentence that follows consequently and presents the outcome or consequence of the first clause. The heavy rainfall caused flooding in the area. Consequently, many residents had to evacuate. In this structure, the heavy rainfall caused flooding in the area is the first clause, consequently serves as the conjunction, and many residents had to evacuate is the second clause, indicating that the evacuation is the result of the flooding. Okay, so these three shows us first the reason, then the conjunction that we have used, and this conjunction consequently it shows or it introduces that clause which shows which has the result of that heavy rainfall or of that reason. Rules associated with consequently, placement of consequently should be placed immediately after the first clause or statement, separating it from the second clause. It serves as a clear marker of the cause and effect relationship. Okay. Now, correct one, the budget was reduced significantly. Consequently, some projects had to be postponed. Which will be the incorrect sentence? The budget was reduced significantly. Some projects had to be postponed consequently. Now we cannot write consequently at the end of the sentence. It should be written in the beginning, or it should be written in the middle of the sentence. Now second one is comma usage. Use a comma both before and after consequently to set it off. It off means to separate it from the entire sentence and highlighting its role as a transitional word, because it is just transitioning or you can say just transferring the information to the result. Now the correct sentence will be, the company faced financial difficulties and consequently it had to lay off some employees. Okay, layoff means to make them out. Incorrect one, the company faced financial difficulties and consequently it had to lay off some employees. Now here we have not used any comma. However, punctuation errors are not asked in competitive exam, so we can ignore them. Clarity and logical connection. Ensure that the use of consequently establishes a clear and logical cause and effect relationship between the two clauses. The second clause should genuinely result from the first. Correct. He missed several days of work due to illness. Consequently, his workload increased. Incorrect. He missed several days of work due to illness. Consequently, the sun was shining. Avoid redundancy. Use consequently when it adds clarity, but avoid redundancy when the cause and effect relationship is already evident. Example, the project was completed ahead of schedule. Consequently, the client was very satisfied. Redundant, the project was completed ahead of schedule and consequently the client was satisfied. Use in complex sentence. Consequently can be used in a complex sentence with multiple clauses, but it should still connect the immediate consequence to its cause. Correct one. The company faced financial difficulties and consequently it had to lay off some employees, which led to decrease in morale. Okay. So these are some sentences which are combined together with the help of consequently, but it has been used only once. But we are just joining 2 or 3 sentences together. Okay, so this is complexity of the sentence. Now, examples of consequently, first of all, cause and effect. The heavy rainfall caused extensive flooding. Consequently, many homes were damaged. The stock market crashed and consequently investors suffered significant losses. Inference or conclusion. The team worked diligently to meet the deadline. Consequently, they completed the project successfully. She followed a strict diet and exercise regimen. Consequently, she achieved her weight loss goals. Time sequence. The project was delayed due to unforeseen issues. Consequently, the launch date was pushed back. The company's website crashed during the sale and consequently customers faced difficulties placing orders. Logical deduction. The budget was for the event was cut drastically. Consequently, some planned activities had to be cancelled. Okay, so the budget was the event was cut drastically. Consequently, some planned activities had to be cancelled. It means the budget which was set was cut, and because of which, what happened? Some planned activities they had to be cancelled. He neglected to back up his data regularly. Consequently, backup means support. Okay, so he did not support or he did not keep backup of his data regularly. Consequently, it means the result of which that he lost important files when his computer crashed. Okay. Formal writing. The research yielded promising results. Consequently, further studies will be conducted to validate the findings. The government implemented strict regulations to combat pollution. Consequently, air quality improved in urban areas. Okay, so the government implemented strict regulations in case of formal writings. Uh, these words are used uh, many times. In fact, in law, you can see that these words are used. Now, the government implemented strict regulations to combat pollution. It means to fight pollution, as a result of which air quality improved in urban areas, due to which air quality has been improved to a particular level. Alternative to therefore or thus, it means it can be substituted or it can be used in place of therefore or thus. The team's efforts paid off, and consequently they secured a major contract. Interest rates dropped significantly, and consequently the cost of borrowing decreased. Complex sentences, it means when we combine two or more sentences together. The company faced a financial crisis due to mismanagement. Consequently, the board of the directors decided to replace the CEO, which led to a significant reconstructing effort. Now, if you see the sentence, the company faced a financial crisis. Okay, so this is actually the effect. Now, after this, we can see due to, which is a conjunction, which is a preposition after due to management, and this is the reason. Okay, so if we see the sentence here, we have one set of reason and effect. It means cause and effect. Okay, so this is cause, that is management, and this is preposition. Okay, consequently is a connector, or you can say conjunction. Okay, the board of directors decided to replace the CEO. So this is again is the effect or the result of this all situation. Decided to replace the CEO, which led, now this is again the result. So there, in the same sentence, we can see various results that occur simultaneously because of something else has happened. The market demand for electric vehicles has surged, and consequently, many automakers are shifting their production focus toward electric models. Again, in this sentence, the market demand for electric vehicles has surged. So this is one thing. This is reason or effect, and consequently, many automakers are shifting their production focus toward electric models. So this is another result. Okay. So when something happens to because of something else that has happened, we write various results and reasons together in a single sentence. And to join those complex those sentences, when we make a complex sentence, we use one or two connectors. Okay, so this is how we have already learned these connectors that we discussed in the starting of the session. I hope you have understood each and every connector very well, and now you know how to use these connectors in your sentences. Now, in the next session, we'll be discussing some more connectors. Till then, thanks to you.